Hello and welcome. In this video, we will explore the fundamentals of memory management. We will cover the memory hierarchy and address translation. Let's start by discussing the memory hierarchy. The memory hierarchy is structured in multiple levels, from the fastest and most expensive to the slowest and least expensive. At the top, we have registers, which are the fastest memory components within the CPU. Next, we have the cache memory, often divided into levels like L1, L2, and L3. Below the cache is the main memory, also known as RAM. Then comes solid-state drives or SSDs, followed by hard disk drives or HDDs. Finally, at the bottom we have network storage or tape drives. As we move up the hierarchy, the speed increases but the capacity decreases. Conversely, as we move down, the capacity increases but the speed decreases. Now let's dive deeper into the characteristics of the memory hierarchy. Firstly, consider the speed. The higher levels, such as registers and cache, offer faster access times. Registers provide access in approximately 1 cycle, cache in about 2 to 10 cycles, RAM in approximately 100 to 200 cycles, SSDs in about 100,000 cycles, and HDDs in approximately 10 million cycles. Secondly, observe the capacity. Lower levels boast larger capacities. Registers hold only a few bytes, cache stores kilobytes to megabytes, RAM holds gigabytes, SSDs and HDDs store terabytes, and network storage can reach petabytes and beyond. Finally, let's discuss cost and volatility. Higher levels are more expensive per byte. Registers and cache are volatile and reside on chip. RAM is also volatile and requires power, while SSDs and HDDs are non-volatile, providing persistent storage. As speed increases, so does the cost, leading to a trade-off between performance and cost. Let's discuss memory addressing, which is the mechanism by which the Central Processing Unit, or CPU, identifies and accesses specific locations in memory. Each memory location has a unique address. Addresses are typically represented as hexadecimal values. Memory is organized as a sequence of bytes. Modern systems use byte-addressable memory, meaning each byte has its own address. The address space size depends on the Central Processing Unit architecture, whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit. Here, let's differentiate between logical and physical addresses. Logical addresses, also known as virtual addresses, are generated by the CPU during program execution. Programs only see logical addresses, which are independent of the physical memory organization. This allows for memory abstraction. An example of a logical address is 0x00001234. These logical addresses are then translated into physical addresses. Physical addresses are the actual addresses in the physical memory hardware. They are generated by the Memory Management Unit, or MMU, and are invisible to the running program. They correspond to actual hardware memory cells and are used by the memory controller to access data. An example of a physical address is 0x10FF5678, which represents a physical RAM location. Now let's look at the address translation process. The CPU generates a logical address during program execution. The Memory Management Unit, or MMU, then checks the Translation Lookaside Buffer, or TLB, for a cache translation. If the translation is not in the TLB, the MMU consults the page table. Finally, the MMU translates the logical address to a physical address and accesses the memory. The Memory Management Unit, or MMU, is a hardware component that handles all memory access operations requested by the CPU. Its key functions include translating logical addresses to physical addresses, managing memory protection and access rights, implementing virtual memory mechanisms, handling memory segmentation and paging, detecting and reporting memory access violations, and maintaining cache coherency with the Translation Lookaside Buffer, or TLB. The MMU consists of components such as address translation logic, a protection unit, a TLB cache, a page table base register, a memory controller interface, and an exception handler. Now let's explore address translation mechanisms, starting with segmentation. Segmentation divides the logical address space into variable-sized segments. Each segment has a name and length. The logical address is represented as a segment number and an offset. Segments can be shared between processes and support variable-sized memory allocation. Another mechanism is paging. Paging divides physical and logical memory into fixed-size blocks. Logical memory is divided into pages, while physical memory is divided into frames. Page size typically ranges from 4 kilobytes to 2 megabytes, eliminating external fragmentation. Let's discuss the page table structure. A page table is a data structure used by the Memory Management Unit, or MMU, to store the mapping between virtual page numbers and physical frame numbers. Each process has its own page table. The Page Table Base Register, or PTBR, points to the page table, which contains protection and status bits. Page tables can be implemented in multiple levels and are cached in the Translation Lookaside Buffer, or TLB, for faster access. A typical page table entry includes the frame number, a present or absent bit, protection bits, a modified bit, and a reference bit. Let's summarize the key concepts of memory management. We discussed the memory hierarchy, organized in levels by speed, size, and cost, including registers, cache, RAM, SSD or HDD, and network storage, which exploits the principle of locality of reference. We explored address translation, where logical addresses are translated into physical addresses by the Memory Management Unit, enabling memory protection and virtualization. We examine translation mechanisms such as segmentation, which uses variable-sized logical segments, and paging, which uses fixed-size pages and frames. Lastly, we identified memory management components, including the MMU, page tables, the Translation Lookaside Buffer, or TLB, and the Operating System Memory Manager. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.